Welcome to the Lucha Lounge. I'm your host, Steve DeMarco. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday Fun Day or Fun Day Monday, maybe. Hey, I'm not totally against it. Or whenever you're listening to this, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Sit down and have a conversation with someone from the wrestling community. Yeah, this was a really interesting little road trip. I just got back from Beaumont. I checked out the latest Riot from Hurricane Pro Wrestling, putting on a show at the Beaumont Convention Center or Civic Center. Don't quote me on either. HPW, you can go to their Facebook and get that information. But anyway, before I continue with that, a little business. August 6th, been mentioning it before, I'll mention it again. House of Hardcore, Reality Wrestling, putting on a joint venture. Putting on a joint venture, Bustin' for Autism, and it's should be a solid show, man. You got Kylie Ray and Rosita, and you got Rex Andrews against Tony Nese of the Cruiserweight Classic, and Evan Snow. So should be a really good triple threat on the road to Summer of Champions 3, which will feature Kurt Angle. Yes, that's August 20th. And then August 21st, I believe, is the Fantasy Camp. But go to realitywrestling.com for more details, and also to catch the latest episode of Reality Wrestling, again, as we make our trek, our journey to Summer of Champions. Or if you're in Houston, go to the CW39, 11 a.m. on Sundays. Now that's enough of a plug. Also, if you didn't check out my last show, it's mainly my thoughts on the draft and the Cruiserweight Classic for that week. Just a little bit of stuff, what was going through my head. And before I get into my guests, let's talk a little bit, so you have a little bit of both. Some people like my recaps of the week, so why not? Battleground, enjoyed it, top to bottom. Thought the show was great. Loved that Breezango went over against the Usos. I thought that was a good call. I was happy with Dean Ambrose getting the title, and the lack of title switches. I thought the contenders put on a hell of a match. Really enjoyed seeing Bayley out there. The reaction that she got, I know she was a little concerned about that reaction and how you bring her character into the WWE universe. And I thought it was great. The reaction was solid. Her match with, that tag match was good. One night only kind of deal. Made it really special. I enjoyed Battleground top to bottom. I thought Zayn and Owens was a pretty solid affair in its own right. But I don't think it'll be the last time. It'd be great if they become partners coming out of this at some point. Like, oh, we need contenders, and I think you two, as have shown, it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool twist on the story if they went that route. Depending on what happens with New Day, I think they got the club, but maybe down the road. Post-draft Raw was solid. Congrats to Sasha Banks finally getting it. I thought it was the right time. A Raw, all those eyes on the product, and it gives her the title walking into SummerSlam against Charlotte. I think it was going to be a phenomenal match. I thought their match on Raw was pretty stellar. I thought the four-ways were pretty stellar. Finn Balor came out looking really special. They really did a great job of presenting him to the new audience, even though I thought the audience knew him for the most part. Not as big of a reaction as, say, had he debuted at Battleground, but at the same time I thought, man, good reaction, and man, to win a four-way, kind of an NXT four-way, and then to take on Reigns, and Reigns to do the good match. I thought it showcased both men pretty well, and I have immense respect for what Reigns can do in the ring, and I think Balor's a phenomenal athlete, and I like his work, so thought it was a good call. I know that there's some out there who didn't like it, some that I have immense respect for, who have their opinions, and that's their opinions. My opinion is they made Balor look like a star, and if you can do that on a week-to-week basis, then I think that the formula can work for anybody. But the fact that they're giving him a good, strong, at least beginning, and him and Rollins for the WWE Universe title, or Universal title, I really enjoyed the first post-draft Raw. I thought it was good. It felt different. A lot of good stuff coming out of it. I'm one of those optimistic people, And SmackDown, I thought it was a solid show, top to bottom. I enjoyed the 6 promos, leading up into the 6-way challenge. Good call with having Apollo Crews be one of the guys in there. 6-way was solid. I really enjoyed Dolph's promo. I enjoyed his work throughout. You kind of, in a good way, lost track of him during portions of that match. It really helped elevate everybody else, and everybody else got a chance to shine. But he told a good story, and man, I really enjoyed it. And kudos to him getting that SummerSlam shot. Go for broke, man. And he goes for broke. I think there's just a certain element, desperation maybe, a chance to be free. I think that will benefit him. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Cruiserweight Classic. I really want Brian Kendrick to win. The Brian Kendrick. I want him to win. It could be because the fan in me, he was one of the last guys that I could truly get to mark out to before I got into the industry. So getting to see him in London and as a tag team, and I thought they were really had their chance, man. Just epically bad timing to some degree if you think about what happened to Joey Mercury. His face exploding on a pay-per-view, and how that kind of diminished what could potentially have been just an awesome story. And considering my appreciation and respect for Paul, I think it's great to see. And I've been a fan of Spanky's. The Brian Kendrick. I've been a fan of his since he was Spanky, since he came out to Genie in a Bottle, and I was a fan of his at American Dragon, and to see him succeed and the match that he put forth, and that was the match of the night for me. I can hear about the hype for Zack Sabre Jr., and I'm not going to diminish what he can do, because he's a hell of an athlete and a technician, and what he does out there is art. But the story, the gravitas, Brian's, man, just blew me away. Yeah, truly blew me away. It was a highlight for me. As for Saturday, I don't normally do this. I haven't really gone and ventured out to see a show, or just be like kind of a spectator of a show. And I mean, when you're producing, you're working, you're helping, facilitate a show. But to kind of be a spectator, and at the same time, get my brain to get picked by some of those guys at Hurricane Pro and what they're trying to do over there. I have, anybody, when you're trying to improve or expand your exposure and kind of go away from just that small, and not diminishing it, having a good crowd is one thing, but to try to take it to the next level, I have immense respect for that, and I wish them the best of luck. Very welcoming, and it was good to see a lot of the guys that I got to see. Some good action from start to finish, and really enjoyed Rex Andrews and Ashton Jacobs. It's good to see Ashton, man. I think he's maturing as a performer, and I haven't seen him in a couple of years. Good to see AJ Rush in action. Good to see Jordan Jensen and Estrella Galactica. He's one of my favorites. I like him, man. He just goes for broke every time he's out there. I think it's really refreshing to watch him. Like the Pump Patrol in any incarnation. I've been a fan of theirs since they were version 1. I enjoyed version 1, and version 2 was great. Danny Ramons, that's my guest, and I'll get into the proper hype up, which he really doesn't need any. He's he's on a hot streak, man. For the last couple of years, I've heard of this guy. For obvious reasons, people have brought him up, and it's just interesting, man. It's just really interesting. We had a really good conversation, but his match with Ryan was stole the show for me. I had never really, it's different seeing a guy on YouTube or seeing a guy on television, depending on the production quality. But that's the age we live in, and at least get to become familiar with somebody. But seeing live and in person, man, he really increased my appreciation for his work, and really liked what I saw, out there. And kudos to him, and kudos to Ryan. It's great to see Ryan and Rex in a different element outside of reality wrestling, and kind of see them in different roles. Yeah, it just fun time in the trip, getting to it's rare that I get to do road trips. It is something that I do miss to a degree, at least the camaraderie of a road trip. Riding the roads alone, not necessarily, sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it can be okay to be in your own thoughts, especially when you're preparing and such, but, being that I was only going pretty much as a spectator and to get my conversation with Danny, but the road trip's fun, talking wrestling and life and travels with those two guys that I work with on a regular basis. But again, same outside of the element of what is reality wrestling, was good. It was good. We had some good conversations, man. Some good stuff, and yeah. So back to Danny. Again, we are probably compared to each other pretty well. I would say he's probably more compared because I'm not actively in it, being a producer for the last couple of years, and we haven't had a chance to cross paths. But we, probably, again, more so him gets compared. We did address the elephant in the room. It was rather large, but pretty noticeable. So, a good little quick conversation. We were backstage at the show prior to the show, and they had promo work to do, and there was a few other things, so I didn't want to take a whole lot of his time, but it was a good conversation, man. A lot of parallels between him and I. Yeah. Oh, but lastly, before I finish, before I kick it off to that conversation, I'm such a big fan of Broken Matt Hardy. Man, just it's art, man. When you see someone just really, and you buy into it, it is beautiful. And man, I commend Matt. I've been and again, I'm not a biased observer. I mean, I've been a fan of the Hardys. For anyone who knows me knows that I was a fan of theirs before I broke in. So again, getting the opportunity to watch their evolution, and even Jeff, Brother Nero, and Delete, Obsolete, man, it's just something that if it doesn't put a smile on your face, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't try to nitpick any of it. I don't try to nitpick schools either. I saw some interesting posts on Facebook, and I don't really like to comment on stuff like that, because to me it's just all kind of noise, and don't get me wrong, hey, I post statuses here and there, and people probably roll their eyes at my stuff, but and it might be just where I'm at in my life overall. It's like it's kind of, it is what it is. I'm some of the ignorance that I see on social media at times, it's strange. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I know I have mine. Mine's not shared by everybody. This business is what you make it. whatever your goals are, you know, it's they're all valuable. It's whatever gets you to want to do it on any kind of regular basis, or want to perform, or want to go through the process. I mean, this is not an easy process. It hurts, and there's a part of you, at least for me, that couldn't get enough of it. And I love the performance aspect. So I value anybody's desire to get into this and want to remain in it. But it is what it is, and at the same time, you could give it every ounce of you, and it doesn't guarantee success, and it doesn't guarantee stardom, it doesn't guarantee fame, it doesn't guarantee any of that, because the truth is timing, life, the plan, your plan versus the universe's plan, or just happenstance, just certain deviations in the road. But wrestling's never going to give you back what you give to it. There are select few that can walk away from it totally unscathed, and it set them for life. There are very few. I mean, it's a small percentage of people that try to do it. I used to have a different idea of what success would be in this business, and I now kind of see it differently. So yeah. But I don't think if you, I used to think, man, if you didn't make WWE, then there was something, there's something off. And as being a guy that just didn't, I mean, up until this point, God, hey, it would be great if I ever got that call, or if I ever impressed the right person, or if they could look past certain things and just kind of go, yeah, man, you're the guy we want. Do this job, and do it. But I've had some moments, man. I've had some memories. I've made some memories. I've got some stuff that will always be there. It'll never disappear. I've made some great friends. Great friends. I've had some great times. I just am smarter about performing now. I don't want to hate it. And it got to a point where I hated it. But I've always been a fan, and there's, I don't know. I had some conversations, and I'm contemplating some things. Nothing set in stone as of yet, and hopefully in time that'll change, and I'll let everyone know. And lastly, where you get trained is important. I mean, you need a strong foundation. If somebody were to ask me if I could tell 25-year-old me or 20-year-old me what to do differently, I probably would have gone to Shawn Michaels. I would have somehow found a way to have that money. I would have probably waited maybe a little bit longer, and I would have gone to Shawn's, because we would have had an opportunity to work with Shawn Michaels and to pick his brain on a regular basis. At the same time, I don't regret my decision, to start when I started. But I would tell a 20-year-old version of me to either go get a foundation or go to Florida and, go to a tryout. Either way, whether you knew it or didn't know it, and hope to God they picked you. Or they tell you what to work on, and I would find a place. And the beauty is that there's more places to choose from now. I mean, back when I was 20, it wasn't, as readily available. But I think in some respects, who you train with, who will vouch for you, and who you can honestly say is a true mentor. Now, who I had as a mentor, the George De La Islas, the Papa Dons, the Russell Simpsons, the Bobby Two Bads, the Tito Sanchez, the El Latinos, the Marty Greens, the Lists, the Chavo Guerrero Senior, the Eddie Guerreros, the Mike Foxes, the Tim Storms, the Richard Hills, the Booker T's, the Bruce Pritchards. I've had some great teachers to some respect, and at the same time I would tell myself to be realistic. To realize that there's a lot of people out there that want to try to do this, and the chance to make it is a very slim chance. And I don't begrudge anyone who gets to make it. I'm proud of anyone who gets that opportunity, gets signed, and is able to earn a living doing this. Because God knows I would have loved at any time in my life to just say, man, this is what I do as a job. It's a passion, but it doesn't put a roof over my head. Sorry about that little rant, but hey, sometimes you gotta. I just come back from a road trip. It was fun. I had a lot of fun sitting down with Danny, kind of seeing where he started. I didn't even realize how long ago he had started. How long it took to become, in essence, an overnight success. Because the truth is, up until a couple of years ago, he was plying his trade. And it's just about getting hot at the right time. He has worked himself to be in the best version of him that he can be. And it's a constant work in progress. And he's aware of that. And he puts in the work. And, we talked about him and his lady love. It was good to talk to him. It was good to kind of see where his head was at within this industry, and being a guy that's just constantly getting booked and just a humble kid at the end of the day. And again, to watch him perform after it was great. Now, we had a good, fun conversation, and it was short enough, I think, and hopefully we can sit down again in the not too distant future, because I would love to sit down with him again and kind of further talk and get to know him a little bit better, because I really enjoy his work. So yeah, as I always like to end these, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. But you know what, people? I think you're in for the ultimate treat, because honestly, and I said this during the beginning of our conversation, it was like staring in a mirror. You are seeing kind of one version and a younger version, but really Danny Ramons is his own man, and I really, really hope you guys sit back and relax and enjoy this one, man. I enjoyed getting to sit down with this guy. I enjoy sitting down with all my guests. Not sure who the next guest is, but hey, we're going to talk about that next week. So seriously, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy, sit back, relax, and enjoy my sit-down conversation with the one and only current, man, he's holding many titles, but on this day, he was the current Hurricane Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, the one and only Danny Ramons. Until the next time, later. Luckily, we'll have Danny Ramons, the cherry popper,
How's the cherry going?
Oh my God, my long lost brother! I can't believe it. Not your dad. I'm not your dad. Man, I know we were supposed to talk last week,
yes,
but you are a busy man in high demand, man. Like we're literally like an hour or two before the show starts.
Yeah.
For Beaumont Hurricane Pro Wrestling, something we both have in common outside of beards and long hair. And,
yes.
Twerking. No, I don't twerk, but you do.
I'm sure he twerks.
Yeah, only in the privacy with my girl. Anyway,
we're gonna see that by the time this. We're gonna see by the time this ends. I guarantee it.
Oh no,
we will see it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, you're defending the Hurricane Pro Wrestling title against Ruthless Ryan, a good friend of mine, which brought me here, but also wanting to talk to you, so luckily I lucked out. And then tomorrow you have IHWE?
Yes, correct.
Wow. Man, just, well, I know what it's like to be in high demand, but what's it feel like for you, man? I mean, how long you been in the business?
Oh man, it's really hard to explain that, but like I started my training on the day of like my high school prom.
And I think I saw an interview where you had a date and you literally canceled
and I
prom.
Canceled the
man, talking about already. I don't know if I would cancel prom, but because of what happens after the prom. But yeah, so day one was prom night.
Yes, that was the first time I started training. My first day of training, it was very hectic. I came out very sore, very bruised. You know,
Yeah.
like always, just like every match, pretty much. You cannot come out without a bruise. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like
Strange
somehow-
bruises
Yes.
that you try to have to explain to people.
Oh, God.
yeah.
Yes.
So, so you were senior in high school when you first started training, and how long had you trained before you had your first match?
My first match was I started training on 4/20/02, and I had my first match in November of 2003.
Wow, and I started like 4/21/2000. So we are
Wow,
It's so
almost-
oh my
how
god,
weird! Oh my God.
It is like you are continuing to train. No, this is weird. It is like looking in a mirror, Danny. Seriously, like 15 years prior.
No, well, actually, speaking of that, like every time that I go somewhere, DeMarco, I'm like, no, Ramones. Oh my God, bro, you look just like DeMarco.
Well, let me ask you about that, because my friend Lala, actually, good friend of yours too, I'm sure, because
Yes.
she does. Now, what's the show in McAllen? What's it called? Because you kind
Wrestling
of
Revolution.
and that's kind of one of your
Yes.
brainchild, so to speak.
Yes.
We're going to get into that in a minute. But the first time I heard about you, I think it was an Inspire Pro show. I believe.
Yes, that's where it all started.
Okay, and
the DeMarco.
and that you walked out and they were like, "Is that DeMarco?" And I'm like, when she tells me, I'm always kind of, whatever, man. Like I don't really know how far my name carries at that point. But I was like, okay, whatever. They can't really look like. I mean, anyway, beard, long hair, we all get it. It's that or
Yeah.
Jesus, you're
Yes,
or.
yeah, I get that a lot.
Thank you, Seth Rollins. You were at the first. Anyway, but yeah, she had mentioned that. So I guess what's it like for you? You go to new places and people think we look alike, or
Oh, like honestly, at first I was like, oh my God, like, do I have somebody else's gimmick? Like, holy shit, like. Sorry,
Yeah.
my
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's totally fine. We're adults.
Okay.
So yeah.
Like, oh, Gaga, man, does this guy, like, am I taking his gimmick? Does he dance too? Like, oh man, like, that would really blow if, like, he has, like, Juicy and, like, all this stuff. I'm like, oh God, because I have heard of you before, I've just never seen you in person
Yeah, yeah.
or anything like that. So I'm
No,
like,
this
oh,
is literally
man.
the first time. I mean, we've messaged each other.
Yeah.
I think we may have had like one phone conversation, but yeah, this is literally the first time we met. And I mean, I've seen pictures of you, because you're
Yes.
quite the selfie king. I give you that. You got one thing you got over me is the selfie thing. But I was like, even my girlfriend's like, he really looks like you. I'm like, well, I'm like, then I'll never have to get booked. Don't you feel like Danny, you do. Yeah.
Bring me the pay. Pay goes to this
Yeah,
address.
just give me just a smidge. But yeah, so what's it? I mean, because you did say that it's kind of hard to say. 2002 is when you started, but our life takes twists and turns.
Yeah, it does. I started training lucha libre style first.
Okay.
And then I did in November when I first debuted, I did American style matches from November of 03 all the way to, can't remember the month, but the year was called 05.
Okay.
I did American style and I just did that. We were doing it for a promotion that what do you call it? A really good friend of mine now was called Bruce Starr, who's the NWA president right now.
Yeah.
He was running a promotion back in Bronxville, which is like about an hour away from where I live.
Okay.
And it was called the IWF, International Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
And like he would always bring guys from from Mexico, and like I would have lucha libre style matches, and then I would have American style matches, and I was working with guys like what do you call it, Spiro? Rest in peace, brother.
Oh man, yeah.
Like,
Such
great
a
guy.
great talent.
Yes,
dude.
amazing guy.
Actually, my friend Gustavo probably had his debut match. Gustavo's a guy I have immense respect for, but Spiro took great care of him, made him look like a star. I mean, Booker was really high about that guy, and it's just such a shame.
I know. I actually had my first singles match with him.
Wow.
My first singles match with him, and it was a great experience.
Yeah.
A very great experience, and I learned a lot from that one match alone. And I was working with him, Jacob Ladder as well, Psycho Simpson, Russell.
Oh my God, Russell! When I broke in, man, talk about guy was maybe 6 months before me, had a couple of matches, But I remember Saturday mornings we'd have like noon practice or 2 p.m. practice. I would get there at noon and I'd be like, Russell, meet me there. We got to go over the week's prep. Like he was my guy, man. And talk about a guy that literally had a time machine. It seemed like nothing could go wrong in his matches. Like I'd see things that are, oh, that's going to go horribly wrong. And somehow it just, you wouldn't even really see the glitch in the matrix. And all of a sudden it just worked out.
Like boom, like whoa, like wait, did I, like.
Such an underrated guy, man. Yeah, wow, yeah. You and I have traveled like the same circles, yeah. So, so you trained under Lucha, but you're doing American style. When really did Danny Ramons, when did it really take off for you?
Danny Ramons, hell man. It took off because, from that time I had stopped wrestling for like about 2 to 3 years because I went to school and then I started going into the whole phlebotomy career and everything, and it didn't, like, I just stopped like loving that. Like at first I was so in love with it, I'm like, oh man, I love doing this. But then like I
did so many parallels. Like a year in for me, I remember, and it was something so simple. Like I got hurt. I was training with Paul London. We were just training. We were boys. We were running partners and whatnot. And he blasted me like with an elbow, like just crowded me, and like I had stitches. And then a show canceled. And I think that was like I just kind of was like, man, what am I doing? Like I've been in it a year, and it's kind of like, man, I want to have a life. And I started dating a girl, and she really wanted to do other stuff, and I was like, well, I'd much rather hang out with you than get thrown around. And then eventually, I think my trainer George De La Isla, actually I spoke to Russell, and I was like, Russell gave me a call, just kind of out of the blue. He was like, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, just lifting weights, this, that, and the other. He's like, are you coming back? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, man. He's like, buddy, you're really talented. It would be a shame for you to throw it all away. And I'm kind of like, all right, man, I'll go to a show. Kind of like tonight. Like, okay, let's just see if I really want to, even though I do the producing stuff, but to perform, that's, man, after all the injuries and all the time, sometimes it's just like, okay, well, it's got to be a payoff of some sort. It's got to be somebody that, like, you and me, I think, in a ring, because I've seen some of your stuff, man, the dance offs alone, man, like I saw a clip with you and Jeremy, you're like, Musica, and then he starts dancing, the reluctant dancer, like all that stuff, man. I've seen the stuff with you twerking with Carson.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, but let's get back to, so you took a few, I'm trying to reel it back in. The
moment they talk about my ass, they're like, wait, let's go back to what we were talking about. Drop the booty.
Don't worry, we'll get the booty there. So you took a couple of years, and then what brought you back into it?
And then I came back because me and a couple of friends, we wanted to do our own thing. It was only 6 of us. There was only 6 of us that were doing American style. What's called wrestling. Those guys had actually stopped wrestling as well for a good short time because we had a little, I guess, I don't want to say like a incident, but we went to San Antonio to try to go learn some stuff over there, and we got our asses beat. Like we literally we showed up for what's called training, and one guy just literally beat us, beat us. But you know what, it's.
Yeah, you never know.
Happens.
It happens. You never know with guys who are like vets or guys who don't really know, or guys who are like, oh, I'm going to teach this kid a lesson or whatever.
And so we were all there trying to we're train and everything, and we got our asses beat, and we were bruised up real bad, and I guess they didn't expect us to show up the next day, but the following day, I was the only one from the group that stepped back into that ring. It's like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I really want this.
Yeah.
I really do want this. But man, after that, the guys were like, you know what, man, we are gonna be coming back. We're gonna be doing Lucha Libre shows. But the cool thing about it is that since there's 6 of us, we can have the opening of the show. It's Wrestling Revolution.
Okay.
We will have the shows, which is the opening match, which is just Lucha, which is American based, which is just us 6.
Yeah.
Like 1 week it'll be us 2, and then the other week will be the other 2 guys, and then we'll slowly have a small little story within that one opening match.
So at least you have your thing.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And when I actually came back, that's when I started doing the cherry popper gimmick.
Okay.
That's where I started doing that, and it was more. If I felt that it was more, me. Like, I love dancing. I love to, do stuff. I want to try something different. I feel more like myself. Like I'm having fun out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I did that for a good long while. We were doing that, and then it wasn't until 2000 July 21st of 2011 that we had our actual first our show,
Okay.
our own venue.
Okay.
And during that period of time when we were doing like all those shows there within that long gap, we were actually training some guys.
Okay.
And the way how Wrestling Revolution started was actually guys like our size that, we were all like, short guys. We're all short guys. Pretty much the people that would not get accepted. Like, it's like, guys, there's always a place for y'all here. There's always a place for y'all here. And so we all did that when we trained our own guys and everything. And sure enough, we had enough guys to run our own full show.
Okay.
So we did that, and it just took off from there. And we've been doing it every week, pretty much.
Wow.
Every week since then. And it's really taken off like down there, because back at home.
Well, not just out down there, Dan. I mean,
Yeah.
I hear of that. Again, I keep tabs on like Lala and a few others. I mean, y'all are bringing in names at this point. Like, I mean, you're now a name. Like
it's expanded.
Yeah, it's
and
expanded quite a bit.
Yeah, and we had our anniversary show last week, actually.
Okay.
That's when we had our.
That's because I remember you were because we were like we're gonna try to get this to happen, and you were like, man, I'll be in town about 4 o'clock, and like there's no, I mean, especially with call time, because the last thing I want is, even though I know we're gonna be somewhat rushed here, the last thing I want is like, all right, let's look at our watches, make sure that because I know call time, it's important to the promoters and bookers, and honestly, you want to be there on time and whatnot. So I didn't really want you to feel rushed or like. And I knew you had like almost a triple shot that weekend.
Yeah,
like you're having triple shots this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
like pretty much. Like, oh man, like my schedule. It's really weird because I wasn't. Like, it wasn't until like 2014 where I had dropped so much weight. I had lost so much weight. I guess like all of. I honestly I don't know. It just happened where
Steve
like.
Marco Steve Marco went on hiatus and went this Danny Ramons kid, cherry popper.
But yeah, like that's 2014 was the year that it all took off for me. That's when all of a sudden I started getting messages and calls. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And honestly, 2014 was a year, and I'm so excited and like proud of this. Where for 7 months straight, every weekend, just non-stop going out of town. In 1 month, I remember what month it was. I did 3 oil changes. 1 month, because I had to go all the way Mississippi, back to Louisiana, then boom, Mississippi, Louisiana. It was like whoa, and I was just going everywhere, like all over, not just like in Louisiana, Mississippi. I was going to like the big cities in Texas. It was just like weird. I'm like, wow, I'm not like is this really happening? Like, am I getting like calls and everything like that? And man, it was such like a great feeling, and I've been truly blessed, honestly. I really have been. And like how you said, it's very it's really weird to like tell people, but I'm usually booked sometimes like in like 3 months in advance for like my whole calendar, like the whole.
No,
month
man, it's a beautiful dilemma to have. It's a beautiful dilemma when someone calls you and you're like, what date? Oh man, I'm already booked. Like, you're calling me a month before. I'm already. You got to call me like 6 months in advance at this.
And it's weird because I don't really like to. This is the first time I actually talk about stuff like that. And I don't like to like throw it out to the public or nothing like that. Oh, I'm good, like I don't know. Like, to me, that's something for like me. I don't really like to like brag about it or nothing like that.
Well, you don't need to. You're on social media. Like, people see you on every flyer. It's like, oh, well, that guy's pretty popular. Now let's go back to the weight loss. Now, what prompted you to want to? Was it just one day you woke up and you were just like, man, I just really want to, or what was it like?
Well, it wasn't. Oh man, I've always wanted to like drop weight, because at one point I was weighing 275 pounds, and I'm like, man, like I just wasn't happy with myself, and I know that I had to change a lot of stuff, but I was just too comfortable with that, like I was just too comfortable with that lifestyle of like eating McDonald's late at night or Wendy's and pizzas
so good.
Yes, and I haven't had McDonald's since January of 2014. So
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And I miss my Big Macs with my 20-piece chicken nuggets and my everything bad fat needy foods. But man, like.
Yeah, that you, if you were to have now, you would immediately.
Yeah.
Like last time I had McDonald's, like as I'm biting into the burger, I'm gonna immediately regret it. Like 'cause my body, I'm trying to eat clean. I'm trying to do, trying to get back into wrestling condition, to where you wear the little shorts and as a sexy guy or cherry popper guy, you kind of have to like. It's not. That's why I would wear PJs at times, because I'm like, nah, man. I can But even at that point, yeah, it's just. But I immediately regret. So you're not missing out on the.
Oh man! But I do miss the taste and flavor. Of
that. Yeah, man.
Man.
The fries, man. Like, oh my god, sometimes addicted. So, one thing I noticed. You and Kat Green are an item. You've been an item for how long? How long have you been together?
Oh man, we've been together for a long time. Next year we're gonna have 10 official years.
Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
In 2014, we actually took like a small break.
Okay.
Like pretty much for that year, we've taken a break from that. And that year was the year that things just really shut up for me and everything. And I had dropped the weight and everything, and with me losing that weight, it was all with because I started traveling in 2013. Technicality, I started traveling in 2013, going to all these places. Hey, we're gonna need a guy. Can you all do this? Can you all? We want to really push this guy, but can you all have a match with him? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
With me, wow, we're actually going to Houston to do a show. Oh my God, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And seeing all those guys and everything, and man, they're seeing Carson, he's in great shape. Seeing Scott Summers, he's in great shape too, and seeing a whole bunch of other guys. There was man, there's Mike Dell.
Yeah.
There's those abs.
How do you get them? And he's and he's eating a burger.
Yes, he's eating a burger. So I'm like, oh my God. So it wasn't really like 2013 was a year that I was like, I'm gonna start doing this, and I'm gonna start doing it. And 2014 happened, and that's when I started to drop the weight. And then as soon as March happened, that's when all those phone calls started coming in, emails, text messages. I'm like, I don't know what this number is.
They probably just say
And I'm like, hello, who's this? Hi, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh wow, I'd love to. Yes, perfect. Well, I'm like, wow, I didn't, and it wasn't until that point where I started to start writing down the dates. Do not, you're booked here for this day. Do not take anything else.
Yeah.
You're booked here for this day. Do not plan anything else. So and it was just nonstop. But and going back to Kat, and also that year it was a really big year for her as well. She started getting out there, started traveling a lot more. But it's.
Well, let me ask you, because you part of what I would recognize you from was a lot of intergender matches, and sometimes it would be you would be paired against her.
Yeah.
What's it like to? I've dated women, and they may have been my valet, or maybe we had a match here or there. I don't have a long catalog of matches with women. It's just never been. But what's it like? What are some of the differences in working intergender matches for you?
Me personally, I love doing intergender matches.
Okay.
They're I know some people have a problem with it. Me, I love it. It's all about having fun, and I have fun doing them so much. And you can do so much stuff with them. And it's all when you are working the crowd with them. It's just something completely different. Something completely different. There's some stuff that you hold back, and then there's some stuff that you don't hold back.
Yeah.
But man, when I was going up against Kat during that year, 2014, we were going out, and we were separated at that time. I will say this: that she did not hold anything back. Those Yakuza kicks to the corner were boom, okay, I deserve that. Here comes the elbow. That too. And it's boom, there's that slap. Okay, all right, you got out of your system now. Okay, good. But man,
let's work now.
Yes, yeah. So it's. I don't know, me personally, I love doing them. You can do so many things, with them. You can even attempt to work something in. And it's oh, the crowd reaction will just. The crowd reaction is there.
Yeah.
The crowd reaction is there.
Mm-hmm.
But man, haven't done any intergender match in a while.
Yeah, because you're now one of the top guys, man. Everywhere you go,
it's weird hearing that.
Well, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't travel to Beaumont for just anybody, but I was like, man, I really want to sit down with you because, in part, again, there's so many similarities, not just the look, but like we both ran a promotion, tried to build stuff. We, obviously just being in demand, kind of working that playboy character, trying to have fun. Like when I would wear PJs, people would be like, why do you do that? I'm like, because no one else does it, why not? I'm an entertainer. I'm here to entertain. I'm not worried about my ego. I'm not worried about, I just want to put a good story together, have two characters go out there and entertain the masses and come home like, even if I get a weird bruise, at least it's not like a broken nose or something like that.
I love entertaining. Like, I'm all about entertainment.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Even as like a small kid, I was always like entertaining, like just like I always told like people back in my whole junior high school years, like I don't care if I look like a jackass, as long as you're laughing and you're entertained, you're all good.
Yeah.
It's like you have a smile on your face. Yeah. Like I love smiles; they're contagious. Smiles, they're contagious.
It's hard not to smile, man. Exactly. Positive attitude. You and Kat good? I mean, y'all got back together and
yes.
things are going pretty well?
Yeah, things are going really well. Right now she's out with a knee injury though, and she's trying to come back. She did a couple of matches, and oh man, her knee is just
it's not something. It's not something. Aren't you coming back from like? Didn't you injure your knee not too long ago?
Actually, the injury I had was. I'm trying to think of the most recent. There's so many injuries I've gotten, but the most recent one was my ankle, ankle and foot. That's the one I was out all of May. Like May, I had May completely filled out, and it happened on that Friday where it was just gonna get started for the whole month, and I was out completely. I'm like, I wanted to cry so bad. And actually, the following day, I had a show here for Hurricane Pro, and I was just at home like wanting to cry, and sure enough, like I did cry because it was just so many good opportunities that have came up that that month and everything, and so many things I was looking forward to, and it just just had to stop, like all of a sudden, like stop.
Yeah.
And oh man, that's.
How long did it take you out? Just the month of May, or?
I was out pretty much for like the whole month of May completely.
Okay.
I was out. I couldn't do anything active for about 3 weeks. It wasn't until like the second week where I was actually able to like walk, but I was walking with a limp, and it was just very hard for me to get to like places here and there. By like the third week, I was already like moving my foot and ankle. I just couldn't put like too much pressure. Like I was able to walk okay, but the moment I would jump up and land, I was already going down. And on that final week, that's when I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna like try to push through it. I still had very little sharp pain, but it wasn't too much to like actually take me out.
Yeah.
So by that fourth week, I was able to start like doing stuff again, which I was so happy for. But man, that May this year just kicked my butt so much.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're back. And so after this weekend, what else do you have? Like what's on it that this you can remember? Yeah, check your phone.
Yeah. Okay, give me some time here.
I put you on the spot, man.
Okay.
Technology. Just check your phone.
Yeah. Okay. Next week, of course, I have Wrestling Revolution. Then I have Laredo on Saturday.
Okay.
And then the following week, I have Austin. And then the 20th, I come back here again. And then the following week, I have Corpus Christi. And then I have Austin again.
Okay.
And and I'm actually every weekend pretty much until the 24th, 17th of September.
So if you want, and if people want to book you past the 17th of September, how would they? Like Facebook, Twitter?
Yes.
What's the best way to get them?
I'm going to be getting a Twitter soon. Everybody's been asking me and yelling at me and scolding at me. Get a Twitter.
Wait.
We'll get it.
You don't have a Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter.
Have a Twitter. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I know.
You know what, Danny? It is time the Cherry Popper got a Twitter.
Okay, I will get a Twitter soon. I will get a Twitter soon. By the end of this year, I guarantee. I promise you.
But for now, like Facebook is probably the best way to get a hold of you.
Facebook. I think everyone usually just does Facebook. Facebook Messenger, like, hey, how's it going? Can you give me your number? Sure. And then we start texting, messaging from there. And say, okay, got it. Got that date saved.
Okay.
But yeah.
So if you had to explain to the people that don't know, Like, what is the cherry popper character? Like, what? I know it's an extension of you, but if you had to explain it to people, how would you go about explaining it?
Oh man.
Again, I put this guy on the spot.
God. Like whenever somebody.
You can't be like Sexy
asks-
Steve. I just go, well, the name says it all. Sexy.
Well, Danny / Cherry Ramons / the Juicy One is a very flamboyant guy that he loves having fun.
Yeah.
He loves when you see him out there. He's like, man, this guy is out there having fun. And I love dancing. Obviously, I love to dance. That's who I am personally.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I try to be sexy because I don't really like me. I'm very self-conscious. I'm just letting y'all know I'm very self-conscious about myself. I do not know how I'm up there like looking the way how I am and dancing and everything. And the moment I get back here, I'm like covering myself like nobody see me. Like oh god, But yeah, I'm just a very flamboyant guy who loves to have fun. Dancing. When I first started off with whole cherry popper, it was like a very in Mexico they call them eroticos.
Okay.
Which is like a erotic wrestlers, and erotic wrestlers over there, they're like the Pimpinela, Casandro type of people.
I remember when I was at doing like a AAA satellite show, Pimpinela was there. She took a liking to me. I was
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's like it's fun doing those type of matches, because like when I had first started off, it was me and my other partner Dante.
Okay.
Like we were just out there having fun, It was in front of the Lucha Libre crowd, and the moment I would get hip tossed or like body slam, I would roll out. He would follow me. I'll be bending over, like oh my back, and he's just standing there right behind me. Just, are you okay? I'm like yeah, and the crowd would just go nuts and everything. And I'm just like. Watch out, like watch it. But man, it's fun. I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to watching you and Ryan. As a guy who's worked Ryan plenty of times, and it was funny because when we were riding up here, he's like, man, if he hits me with a super kick, I'm gonna be like, Steve, DeMarco does it better. I'm like, oh man, don't do that. But yeah, man, I've watched some of your matches. I'm genuinely entertained, man. I'm very much looking forward to tonight, kind of seeing you in action. It's one thing to watch it on YouTube. It's another thing to watch it live and in action. And who knows, man? I've kind of thrown out feelers. Like I know the next couple of shows here are booked. I mean, being a producer with reality wrestling, I know it's kind of tough and they conflict. But December 17th, I think is Glory and Pain. And if you're holding the title, I think. DeMarco Ramones 1, I think would be some. Oh my God! And you'll get me to dance at that point. So.
Yes. We're gonna dance right now. Actually, we are gonna.
No!
You are gonna have to shake your booty.
Oh.
You are gonna.
And here comes the thing of
Yes,
I can't. I haven't even warmed up yet, Danny. Hold on, as I take out all my. I can't, Danny. I can't. Okay.
Yes, you can.
Oh my God! And look, he's already gonna have a song. The beauty of technology.
Yes, sir. And actually, somebody sent me the song. I'm like, wow, I haven't heard this song in a long time.
Oh, I'm gonna wait for the music to hit, and then.
Yes. The phone can't pick it up here.
Sensual, un movimiento sensual, sensual, un movimiento muy sexy, sexy, un movimiento muy sexy, sexy. Y aquí se viene con la como este baile que es una bomba para bailar.
Oh my God!
Para gozar es una bomba, para negar es una bomba.
Your turn, buddy. Your turn.
Oh. Thanks for coming to the show. See you later.
No.